Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Muscatine Today show. I'm so glad that you guys are joining us this morning on the show. It is Tuesday. We all made it through that hard Monday. Mondays are always the hard day of the week for me to kind of get back in the groove, wake up and kind of get things going again, get back on schedule and get the kids out the door and all of those fun things. But we all did it, right? We're all here again, and it's Tuesday, and now we're preparing for possible snow maybe, but it feels really kind of like we're getting ready for spring outside. So I don't know, we're all confused. We don't know what's gonna happen next, but I'm so glad that you guys are joining us on the show. I think it's going to be a good day today. So thanks for joining us. And I want to start off the show before we really jump in by saying thanks to all of our awesome sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't have a show. We wouldn't have the platform for nonprofits, for folks to talk about all the great stuff they're doing out in our community. And we love that. We love the ability, excuse me, I can't speak, to give people that platform, and that is because of our sponsors. Folks like Muscatine Power and Water, who happen to be with us today to talk a little bit about some stuff coming up at Muscatine Power and Water that you're going to want to know about. Rivo Plumbing and Heating, huge partners and always willing to support the things that we have going on in the community. So thank you so much to them. John Becky Insurance, Impact Life Blood Center, our friends at Lutheran Living, our friends over at Toyota of Muscatine, always such great community partners there as well. Impact Athletic Performance, they'll be on the show tomorrow for Wellness Wednesday, sharing some ideas and tips for you guys to just be well. And we're so appreciative of that. Suntan City Muscatine, Real Estate Resource Associates, and our friends at Unity Point Health Trinity Muscatine, and then of course Hy-Vee, always willing to loan us space and resources to be able to put on the show. So we are grateful for you. Thank you to all of our sponsors of the show. So this morning, like I said, we have Ryan is here, and he is from Muscatine Power and Water. And you guys are celebrating some pretty big milestones this year at MPW. 100 years and 25 years. Those are two big milestones. No matter how you look at it. Each one of those are big milestones. So tell us a little bit about the 100-year and the 25 and what milestones those are for MPW.
Sure. So as you mentioned, electric's turning 100 years old this year, and communications 25. And the communications 25 seems like yesterday. That's actually when I started with MPW.
Wow.
And so that went really fast.
Yep.
But today we're going to focus on the electric utility because that's the department that I take care of.
Yep.
MPW really started back in 1900 with the water utility,
Yeah.
and that's where all this got its start.
Yep.
So I've got a picture here on the slide that shows a lot of changes in the last 100 years. And it's a great picture of the early days of electricity, and it shows a bunch of linemen showing off their skills up on a pole.
Yep.
And when I say a lot of things have changed, what comes to my mind is safety.
Yep.
I don't think we'd take that picture today without some fall protection, maybe a few bouncy houses underneath there.
Yep.
But a lot of things are constant.
I think your safety managers might have some problems with taking a photo like that.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So as we look at how the electric utility got its start, it was really from the citizens of Muscatine. What they had going on back then was an electric server that was taking the profits and just taking those profits out of town. Well, they had this great model of the water utility where they had local control. Any profits were put back into the system to make it more reliable and robust.
Sure.
And so they voted in that we would start the electric utility to serve the residents, businesses, and industry, and that's where we are today.
Yeah. It's amazing to, I think people forget how cool it is that we have the utility that we have, that we have MPW here keeping, we have this great service, and we're keeping it here, and we're keeping it local, and it's like this community-owned thing, and so that's so cool.
The
for
local
a community.
is just so powerful because, the people that we hire are local. They live local. Well, I always think this is our big secret. Why are our response times so good compared to other utilities? We all live right here.
Right.
So it's truly neighbors serving neighbors,
Yep.
and it works out great.
Yep.
We are very lucky to have
Yep.
it.
Yep, absolutely.
So my next slide just shows a birthday cake with 100 years on it. And again, MPW is here for the long haul. We're very proud of our proven record of low rates and great customer service. And also, being small, we're light and agile. We can change quickly. And I think back to when the communications utility started, we were served by a large entity. What were the odds of MPW getting that investment to be able to make a fiber to the home? And here we've been able to do that for ourselves and have gigabit service in a small town. Again, it's that power of local control, which is just fantastic.
Yeah. I think it goes back to what you said, like you have local folks wanting the best for not only themselves, but their neighbors, and serving each other is a huge thing. And
we're going to do what's
wanting
in
the
our
best.
best interest because I want high-speed internet.
Right.
Kids want high-speed internet, so we're going to work for it.
Absolutely.
So one thing I want to make clear, I cannot cover the 100-year history in any good manner with just the show today. But I want to encourage people to go down to the National Muscatine Pearl Museum.
Yeah. On
the second floor, we have a display, and of course that display talks about the advancements in the community, how it's improved, and how MPW has been there and been a part of it every step of the way.
That place is pretty cool.
Yeah,
there's
I don't get
so
down
much
there
history.
enough.
Yeah, there's so much history on that second floor. I don't think people know sometimes to go up there and check out some of the industry and the history that's up there, but definitely go and check out that, especially celebrating some of these milestones with MPW. Go and check some of that history out.
And it's great for the kids because there's a lot of interactive displays up there as well. So
absolutely.
Good stuff. My next slide shows some of our first generation. And one thing neat about this slide, on the top right, there's this sign from the late 50s that talks about this new plant. That plant's still in operation today.
Wow.
If you ever get a chance to tour our generation site, the folks down there do such a great job. They take such great care and such good maintenance that unit's still operating very well today, and we use it for reliability purposes.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but what's interesting is there's been a lot of challenges through the years because generation transmission lines, those aren't just on the shelf. You can't just buy them. They take years to put together. And a neat time that I've taken a look at is from 1970 to 1980. In 1970, our local load was only 59 megawatts. Well, by 1980, it had almost doubled to 100.3.
Wow.
So they knew at that time they needed to take some action and make sure that we were prepared for the load coming in the future, because if this doesn't stop, we're not going to be able to support the power that needs of the community. So in my next slide, we show Unit 9, which is our largest coal unit, and also a couple pictures of the 161,000 volt transmission line. And those were put in place to handle that future load. Now this was the late 70s, early 80s. And it was a good thing they did that, and they overbuilt for the future, because in 1999, our peak load hit 149.9 megawatts.
Wow.
And we were ready for it.
Yeah.
So great job to those folks back then. That was awesome.
Thinking ahead,
Yeah. So
it's always important to think ahead to the future.
Yeah,
I think you guys do a great job at that. I mean, look at the things that you guys are already thinking ahead for solar and thinking ahead to the future for all of those things as well. So it's important to do that.
Yeah, and that's a great segue to the next slide.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, because that's really where we are today. A lot of those units that have carried us so reliably up till today, now they're getting near their end of life.
Yeah.
And of course, they've got some huge environmental challenges.
Yep.
So it's time for us to, again, do that planning, look ahead, and make sure that we can supply the future needs of Muscatine. So one way we're going to do that is retire some of the old generation and then look towards building a new gas unit, which will be Unit 10. That unit will also be future-proofed and be able to burn hydrogen. And the way that we do that, by downsizing our fleet and going to a more efficient fleet, is by increasing our transmission line capacity.
Okay.
So if you've been on the north side of town, you've probably noticed a lot of construction.
Yeah.
Because our new line, which we call line 106,
Yep.
that line construction is in full swing. And what that's going to do is give us that extra energy availability that we can cover those future load growth demand.
Yep. I think the last time that, I believe it was when maybe Erica and Mitch were on talking about how not only you guys are doing some of that, but working with other people, other utility in the area to make that kind of a group effort too out there on the north end of town too.
Yeah,
So
it worked out great. We actually started looking at this back in 2016 and then
Yep.
seeing how we're going to have to prepare for that next 30 to 40 years. So one of the first things we did was reach out to our neighbors, which is Mid-American Energy and
Yep.
SIPCO, Central Iowa Power Cooperative.
Yep.
And we wanted to say, okay, this is what we have in mind. Do you have any needs? How would this work with you? Well, SIPCO has those same needs. Their load is growing. They have generation retiring.
Yep.
And so it worked out to be a great partnership where we're building up on Highway 38.
Yep.
And then from there, they take it all the way up to Davenport, where we tie into a large sub up by Westlake.
Right.
So it's
yeah.
going to help meet their needs, our needs, and it's a 50-50 cost share.
Right.
So it works out really good
Yep.
for both of the partners.
Yeah. It helps when you work together.
It does. You can accomplish a lot with just a conversation.
Yep, absolutely. Very cool. So many things happening, not only with, celebrating some of those milestones, but really thinking about moving into the future and what that means for MPW and the community. So
Yeah, and we hope to do some neat things this year to celebrate. We'll just have to see how the pandemic,
Yep.
if it gives us a break and if things slow down enough where we feel comfortable inviting people in, but
Yep.
we'll just see how those things go
Yep,
this year. But hopefully
absolutely.
we're able to really celebrate it.
Yeah. Well, it's cool to learn about the history and where we're going into the future. I always like to mention when you guys are on the new website and being able to really get on there and learn some more things about, if it's something that interests you and, talking today, if you've listened today and thought, wow, that's kind of interesting information, then get on the website. There's so much stuff on there now, and it's so easy to kind of maneuver through. Get on there and find out more about the utility and all of that stuff. And watch the show next month, and I think we're going to be talking about more history and talking about maybe that 25 years and so it's fun. It's fun to talk about history, but it's fun to move into the future as well. So
Well, and thank you very much for the plug. I'm going to do the same for you and your show, because it's great to be able to dial you up on YouTube or wherever you can find the link and be able to find out what's going on in the community.
Yeah.
A lot of times when your show's on, I'm at work, so I don't get to watch it,
Yep.
but I do dial in afterwards, check it out, and see what's happening.
Yep.
And it's always great to see what's going on.
Yep.
And great job.
thank you very much. Well,
Thank
thanks
you.
for coming on today and for sharing some of our history with MPW and our community. It's fun to be able to hear about that stuff. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll see some commercials from some of our awesome sponsors, and then we'll be right back after that, and we'll kind of close up the show with you. But I want to share some things happening with some of our sponsors after this commercial break. So we'll be right back.
We just don't work out in a single plane of motion.
Hello, everyone. So we're back. It's fun to learn about our history here in Muscatine and how things have changed and grown and how we're going to be moving into the future. So I'm really glad that he was able to join us and share a little bit of that, and also to be able to celebrate with MPW all of the years that they have been here with us in our community, serving us and they really do a great job serving our community. And like you said, neighbors serving neighbors, it really helps when we get into a bind and something, maybe a utility line goes down. You know that they're going to be there as quick as possible to fix that, and they do a great job. So thank you so much to all of those folks who are out there day in and day out serving our community. So speaking of people serving our community and doing a great job, our sponsors are just amazing, and I love to give them shout outs. Our friends at Impact Athletic Performance will be, and Nutrition. I have to get used to saying their new name because I wanted to mention again that they're moving to a new location, and that's going to be happening later this month. But if you're out at the mall, make sure that you take a peek in and see their new location at the mall and see that they're growing as well. It's cool to see businesses, local folks, local families growing their businesses here in the community. I'm proud to be a part of that and be able to see them continue to grow here in our community. So kudos to Impact, and I'm really excited to see the new space and to be a part of that. So check that out. But also, our friends at Lutheran Living sponsor This Day in History and National Days. Today happens to be National Dark Chocolate Day. As soon as Chris told me that, I'm like, ew, I don't like dark chocolate. Do you like dark chocolate, Jess? You do? Ooh, yikes. Mm-mm. Do you like it, Chris? You're not a fan? Me either. I'm not a fan either. So how about you guys? You guys tell me, are you guys fans of dark chocolate? I'm not really a fan. But it is National Dark Chocolate Day, so maybe enjoy some of that if you like it. It's National Dark Chocolate Day. So, and supposedly it's a little bit healthier for you, right? To eat dark chocolate. So I guess you have that going for you. So thanks to our friends at Lutheran Living for sponsoring that. I also heard, before I let you guys go, that there are some new deals going on at Suntan City. So make sure that you check out those for February before you guys head out for the day. Maybe, I don't know, a nice warm bed sounds pretty good right now. So I don't know. Sandy James, I'm right there with you, girl. No dark chocolate for me either. No, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. I am so glad you guys joined us for a little bit of history with MPW. I am excited for tomorrow and Wellness Wednesday. I hope that you guys will join us. Autumn is going to be on the show with me, sharing some nutrition info. We all need that, right? Maybe we started our year off with a bang and really gung-ho about making some changes, and it's always like around this time, that 4-week period, where we're like sort of maybe starting to fall off the wagon a little bit. And so let's let Autumn get us pumped back up and get us excited again. I think maybe I need to bring my paper back on, my poster back on, and think about some of the goals that I had made, and maybe get a little bit pumped back up about some of those things again. This is the week I promised I would get back into Impact on a regular basis again. So I'm planning to head there tonight, and I have to just get there and do it and not feel guilty about that. So that is my goal for today, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. I have to make it there. So we all need a little bit of a boost from our friend Autumn at Impact. So I'm excited for the show tomorrow, and I will see you guys all then. But until then, don't forget.
Here at Toyota Muscatine, we're here to serve.
When you buy a vehicle at a multi-brand dealership and it isn't locally owned, it can be difficult to get information that you need.
That's why all of our trained salespeople are focused on one thing: getting you the best deal possible on a new or used Toyota.
And when you pick your favorite, we will help you with financing and maintenance.
We love helping our neighbors.
Come to Toyota Muscatine